Today we're going to be making Colombian empanadas. Vamos, let's get started.
Todo queda sabroso.
So we're continuing in our empanada series. Our last video we did a crab empanada, but today we're doing Colombian empanadas, which are a little bit different because instead of a flour dough, it's going to be made out of corn flour. This is masa arepa or arepa flour, the same flour that you use to make arepas, and Colombians use the same flour to make their empanadas. Okay, so we're gonna make the dough now. To a large bowl, we're gonna add 1.5 cups of that masa arepa. To that, we're gonna add a teaspoon of salt, as well as a teaspoon of sazon. We're gonna mix that around. Then we're going to add about 2 cups of water. I'm not gonna add it all at the same time. I'm gonna save about 1/4 and a tablespoon of oil. And we're gonna mix that together until it forms a ball. Okay, still a little bit crumbly, so I'm gonna add a little bit more water. I don't like adding all the water all at one time because say if I mismeasured on the flour, it can change the results of this dough. So I'd rather add most of the water and then add as I go. That way I know I get the consistency that I want. Then I'm gonna grab a ball and I'm just gonna run it in my hands just to make sure that it comes together, and it does. So I'm just going to, in the bowl, I'm going to just knead that dough. Basically, I'm going to take this ball and wrap it in plastic and then place it in the refrigerator until I'm ready to make the empanadas. These Colombian empanadas are going to be filled with a savory beef filling, and I'm also going to be making a Colombian ají salsa picante, which is going to be the perfect accompaniment to these empanadas. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these Idaho potatoes that I've peeled into a dice. Cut them into a dice. Then we're going to add them to a pot of water. Add a little bit of salt. And then we're going to cook this until it's tender. Now I'm going to cut some vegetables for the filling. I'm going to do about 1/2 a red pepper. Also going to dice up 1/2 an onion. Notice how I kept the end intact. This keeps everything together as I'm dicing my onion. And I'm also going to do a tomato. And then I'll dice that up as well. Okay. I'm going to keep those separate because we'll cook that differently than those vegetables. For the Colombian ají, we're going to add diced tomato, jalapeno, cilantro, parsley, lime juice, vinegar, salt and pepper, and water into a mason jar. There we have our salsa picante. So a really nice thing about this recipe is that you can prepare everything the day before. This will help you to assemble and fry on the day you plan to serve it. Okay, so here I have my dough, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of roll it into a log. Then I'm going to cut it into equal-sized pieces. Then we're going to roll it into a ball. Then get a tortilla press. If you don't have a tortilla press, you can use like the bottom of a pot or pan. And then we're going to press. Just like that, peel it back lightly. There you go. Okay, now I'm going to take my empanada dough and I just place it on a piece of wax paper. You can use parchment paper. Then I'm going to take that filling that we did, just like that. Then with the help of the wax paper, I'm just going to fold it over and close it, just like that. Going around, pinching those edges, making sure everything is nice and sealed. And then there we have our empanada. If you want, you could do a little pinch to add a little design.